Development of pharyngeal arch arteries. So this is a aortic sac, and this is a right horn, and this is a left horn. So aortic sac, its right horn and left horn. So this is the dorsal aorta on either side. So it is a dorsal aorta, and actually the aortic sac, it is a cranial part of truncus arteriosus. It is a cranial part of truncus arteriosus. So we are having a heart tube. In that heart tube, there is truncus arteriosus. So its cranial part is a aortic sac. So we are having 6 arch arteries. Of that, the fifth one will disappear. So altogether we are having 5 arch arteries. So this is the arch arteries. This is third arch artery, fourth arch artery, and fifth arch artery. On the right side, this is a third, fourth, and fifth arch artery, which is connecting the dorsal aorta. Here you are unable to see the first and the second. So actually the first and second arch artery has disappeared, and remnants is formed. So the first arch artery, it will be forming the maxillary artery, whereas the second arch artery, it will also disappear, and a remnant is formed, that is stapedial artery. So the arch of aorta, it is derived from the left horn of aortic sinus and the left fourth arch artery and the left dorsal aorta, its caudal part. The right horn of aortic sac, it will form the brachiocephalic trunk. So in the third arch artery, there is a carotid bud. So this is a carotid bud. From the carotid bud of the third arch artery, external carotid artery is formed. The common carotid artery, it is formed from the third arch artery, proximal. So the third arch artery, proximal part, this common carotid artery is formed. Here you can see the seventh cervical intersegmental artery is opening. Seventh cervical intersegmental artery is opening. So the internal carotid artery, it is derived from this third pharyngeal arch artery, distal part, plus dorsal aorta, its cranial part. Internal carotid artery is formed. Next, right subclavian artery. It is formed by the right fourth arch artery plus right dorsal aorta, which is cranial to seventh cervical intersegmental artery and the seventh cervical intersegmental artery. It is forming the right subclavian artery, and the pulmonary artery, it is derived from sixth arch artery, its proximal part. The right sixth arch artery, right side, distal part, this will degenerate. Whereas the sixth arch artery, left side, distal part, this will be developing into this region. It will be developing into ductus arteriosus. So it will be developing into ductus arteriosus, and this ductus arteriosus, it will be connecting the pulmonary artery to arch of aorta. So as you can see here, the pulmonary artery, it is connecting to arch of aorta through the ductus arteriosus. So on summarizing, the first arch artery, it disappears and the remnant formed is maxillary artery. The second arch artery, pharyngeal arch artery, it disappears and the remnant formed is stapedial artery. Whereas from the third arch, common carotid artery, internal carotid artery and external carotid artery is formed. From the fourth arch artery, the arch of aorta plus right subclavian artery is formed. From the sixth arch, the pulmonary artery is formed. The proximal part is forming the pulmonary artery, and ductus arteriosus on the distal side, left distal side. So the what is abnormal right subclavian artery? So the right subclavian artery is formed from fourth pharyngeal arch artery, and so these three structures. So in abnormal right subclavian artery, this right fourth pharyngeal arch artery and this dorsal aorta, right dorsal aorta, cranial to seventh cervical intersegmental artery, these two will disappear. Whereas these two structures will persist. That is the seventh cervical intersegmental artery and the right dorsal aorta, its caudal part. This abnormal right subclavian artery, it passes behind the esophagus. So while passing behind the esophagus, it will compress the esophagus. So, and this compression, it will causes dysphagia. It causes dysphagia. That is why dysphagia due to this cause is called dysphagia lusoria. And the artery is abnormal right subclavian artery is known by another name, Lusorian artery. Lusorian artery. Next clinical correlation is double aortic arch. In double aortic arch, the two aorta, it will form like a vascular ring around the trachea and esophagus. So actually the right dorsal aorta, it is the caudal part, it normally disappears. But in case of double aortic arch, this persists. So both the left and right dorsal aortic arch is persisting, which is resulting in this double aortic arch. That is right dorsal aorta. its caudal part persists. So it forms a vascular ring around trachea and esophagus. Normally, the ductus arteriosus, it closes after 10 to 15 hours after birth. So it closes. If this ductus arteriosus is persistent, it will lead to patent ductus arteriosus. This is a acyanotic type of heart disease. In this case, the blood will flow from left atrium, then to left ventricle. It enters the aorta. From the aorta, through the ductus arteriosus, it reaches the pulmonary artery, and through the lungs it reaches the pulmonary vein and again to left atrium. There are certain cyanotic heart disease, the tetralogy of Fallot. The tetralogy of Fallot, the transposition of great vessels, and the persistent truncus arteriosus. These three types are cyanotic heart diseases. That is, in this type of diseases, the blood oxygen level will be low.